What's up, guys? This is Chris here. I got a couple of questions on the stream just about how I keep my money so high, and after mentioning that I run interchange like all the time, and it's the map that I've run the most in my Tarkov experience so far, people were asking how I earn all of my money from interchange, and some people have mentioned that they're a little afraid of the map, and so I'm going to try and make this video to kind of help out a little more and kind of help you figure out where you can go, where you need to go, where you need to avoid, things like that. So I'm going to show you the route first, and then after that, showing the route, I'm also going to include a clip from my stream where I did go in by myself with very minimal armor, nothing super expensive like I'm wearing right now with the Alton and stuff like that. I think the most expensive gun I was maybe running with was a gun I took off of Killa, but that way you guys can have a real in-game experience of how it looks even after I show you the legitimate route that I run. So the biggest thing you're going to want to know too whenever you go into interchange is that you want to go at nighttime. So you want to look for anything around 2200 to 3 in the morning. So 2200 to 0300. This way it's mostly nighttime but also twilight, because very few people do run at night. And even if they are, I take in pretty good gear, or at least somewhat, medium range gear. That way, if I do get into a firefight, I can, of course, play it out and hopefully kill them and get some good loot out of it. But also, you just have to be kind of careful with that, because PvPing is a common thing in the route we're going to go. So if you do decide to go in and just a hatchet, you're going to die quite a bit. But this way, doing it at nighttime, you have a chance to not only PvE with some scavs, but also PvP, and then of course get a bunch of money out of it and possibly some loot. So I'm going to choose this 2300 for the nighttime raid, for the offline raid, and then we're going to go from there. Alright, so for where we spawned, usually once you get used to the map, you can kind of figure out where you need to go. So since we spawned here, I'm almost positive we're over by Railway Exfil, which means that we're going to see front here of the interchange. Yep, so there's idea there. Once you get your bearings, you can just kind of run towards here. Now, the biggest thing is you're going to want to go into ollies, which if you're on this side, there's a route and idea I can run, but I usually want to go ollies. So you have to make it all the way to the other side of the mall in this case. So we'll go ahead and run our way over there. And the biggest thing you just need to be careful of is the scavs that are obviously on the road to your right over this way, because obviously they'll cause you a little bit of trouble. Usually, though, this far down on the road, no scavs spawn at all. They mainly spawn past this gate that we're looking at right now. And on that gate, it's just once you get past that, you'll pretty much know where they are. But they have lower, I don't want to say alert rates, but lower visibility at night. Obviously, since it is nighttime. But for that, of course, you want to just still be careful, because I have been shot a couple of times passing through this little middle grass area that we're in currently to get to ollies all the way on the other side, because the front of interchange, for those who don't know, goes idea, ultra, ollies. And so you have to make it all the way to the other side. I like crossing over onto the road here. This way you can get over into the string line, and anyone who's like watching the road, possibly trying to snipe people, has a harder time seeing you. The golden time you want to spawn in obviously is right at the beginning of the raid, or at least 3 minutes in. And the reason I say that is because from experience on this map, 47 minutes in the raid is the golden time frame, because that's about the time whenever the people who spawn on the south side, so on the complete other end of the mall, like on the south end of the mall, that's about the time they get around the corners of the building and are heading into the building in front of you. So that way the PvP can kind of start before you get there, and any of the like 9 to 12 players that do spawn on this map with you will already be taken out by each other, or of course taken out by scavs if they're hatchlings. So you don't really have to worry about players running into you here too much, which is why on stream you'll see me pretty confident about crossing the parking lot and things like that. The clip from the stream, I believe I spawned pretty close I believe I spawned somewhere on that side. That way I'm pretty close to this actual entrance. So I don't have to run too much, and I'm actually one of the first ones up into the building. So once you get in here, you want to obviously pass the front of Ollie from this route, which is right there. So this glass pane here is the front of Ollie. You want to come in this garage. And the reason is you have more cover, no scavs spawn in this area right at the beginning. Now for this glass, I usually jump over it. That way I make one crunch and that's it. And then here you want to avoid this metal pane. This metal pane makes a lot of noise when you walk on it, and someone with headsets on is gonna hear you from a mile away. Now on these stairs I usually crouch up, and this is only because in case a scav is right here in the open, the only thing that's gonna pop up is my helmet, and of course here I would have my Alton on, so I'd be down like this and come up, and then you can take out whichever scavs are up here, and then I usually walk up, check my right there, check my right here. If I don't see any scavs walking about, you have to sprint all the way around. Now, because my endurance is high, I have a sprint that lets me go all the way through. You want to ignore Techco first and immediately jump up to here and run all the way up into Techlight. Now, you always have to be careful when running up because someone could be sitting there or behind the counter or down the road there to snipe you while you're coming into Techlight. But of course, once you get into Techlight, for most people, you already know, Techlight is the place for all of the electronics, so you can get lamps, you can get Tetrises, there's weapon parts that spawn on this little box set here, but on the table they spawn things, on these shelves they spawn things. Now for the Tetris spawns, I will admit, they have seemed to change the Tetris spawn a little bit, so instead of spawning at eye level, a lot of the Tetrises will spawn down on the bottom shelves, as I've noticed lately. They've always been below me whenever I pick them up, but usually what I try and loot is I walk in, search this first, keep an eye out there, and then kind of walk around. There's a magnet here. Tetrises can spawn there and things. Tetrises can pretty much spawn anywhere in here, but the things you want to pick up are magnets, Nixor lenses, because they sell for anywhere between 20 to 40k. I pick up CPUs because they sell nice over to a therapist. I pick up circuit boards. We'll check the front first. Jump, and the 1G phones are worth 40k whenever you sell them to therapists. That's a free 40,000 rubles there. The reason I jump is because it's easier to check the shelves that way, even though it does make quite a bit of noise. There's another CPU. There's another magnet there, but we'll jump. And the reason I also jump is because if there's any broken G phones, or in this case, this Helix right there, they're laying down and sometimes they're harder to see. So you just want to jump and just check to see if you see anything laying down. Now you check this back here. I've seen PSUs, motors, Tetrises, graphics cards, all sorts of stuff spawn right there. And then depending on how busy it is, if there's a lot of PvP going on, I'll skip these two cash registers. But if not, you can check these for rubles. There's 2 slots on each. And then they give you quite a bit of loot here. Now, on this spot, I go from here straight over to the medic bay over there, mainly because the medic bay makes it a little bit easier to, you know, get some painkillers and stuff really quick to help you throughout the raid. I always do check down the lane here, though, because there's always someone sitting right there or down the lane on this side or on this side ready to shoot whoever runs down here. And so I always check here. If there's no one, then I'll just run back into here. In here, I don't really mind making all of the noise because at this point, everyone's pretty much where they need to be in the raid and they're shooting each other. Find a sodium. These are used for a lot of quests and it's also really expensive on the market. I think they were selling on the flea market for like 39k at one point. Now at this point, after I've raided the med bay, I always pop some painkillers here. Then that's just in case we go back down to Techco underneath us and there's someone just camping in there. The amount of damage you'll take is kind of nullified, and the pain effects and everything are already nullified by your painkillers, so you don't have to worry about that. So it's just a PvP move by me to preemptively pop painkillers, and then I run down like this and jump over. Now, depending from how high you jump over, you're obviously going to hurt your legs, but damaged legs are literally minuscule in compared to the amount of money you can get whenever you're, you know, just rushing this. So I'll move my Alton up just so you guys have a little bit better visibility. So I always check that shelf first, walk straight, check the shelves. There's another magnet. So far, we have a lot of money already. 40k, anywhere between 20 to 40k. A bunch of magnets that sell for about 20 to 30k to therapist. After this, run over this way. Check this here. We got a G phone. Hard drives are used for trades mainly, so if you need it, grab it. Over here, there's another hard drive, another magnet, so that's about another 20k. Check this end here. nothing on this shelf. I go ahead and run because the problem is the front of this store is way too open. I've been shot way too many times from over there, sniped from over there, sniped from this store here, and so after this, I usually run all the way, get behind the cover, and then come into Rasmussen. The reason I come into Rasmussen is because it's another tech store, and the first thing I usually do is try and position myself behind these metal sheets here, and then pick this up. Usually there's some gun pieces in here. There's a pro stock, which is probably worth some money. I don't really pay attention to gun parts. But you check these shelves here. There's usually some good things that spawn here. I found a lot of graphics cards in here. I found one Tetris in here one time. And in the clip I'll show you, I actually do find a Tetris, I believe, on that shelf over there. GM counters, which are used for Quest at one point for Therapist. And you just kind of check these tables, check the shelves. We got another NuVR lens, so that's about another average of 30k on us. And then what you're going to want to do is come all the way down here, pick up whatever you can, and check behind this shelf. This corner right here spawns drills, NuVR lenses, and GM counters, gas analyzers, stuff like that. I haven't seen it spawn anything really more expensive than that. Now, the only other thing I do here is if I check over here, usually you can spot Killa kind of walking back and forth, and you can just kind of take him out if you have a big enough gun. If you're more of a lower level, I would not suggest going after Killa, just because he is very aggressive and he throws a lot of grenades. So at this point, this is where I kind of wait in Rasmussen to listen for the PvP. If the PvP is getting a little too out of hand, you know, there are shots everywhere, you can pretty much hear people just absolutely laying into each other. I mean, even on my end, if I'm using my SA58, people are going to hear me because this gun is very loud. So if people are hearing that pop off and I'm hearing that go off, you know, I kind of don't want to spend too much time in here. But if it's kind of quiet and it's kind of, you know, slow, what I'll end up doing is I'll come back out this way and I'll just sprint around, come back into this store. And the one place that I usually check for something, you know, high level is this spot right here, which is a perfect example because there's a gas analyzer. This spot, it can spawn gold chains, can spawn gas analyzers, can spawn all sorts of expensive stuff. I found countless amounts of 1G phones, so this phone that's worth 40k. So it's an easy way to just grab a quick 40,000 rubles for you. And then, of course, I check the weapon box. Now, I usually try and do the FX, which I failed there. Where I lay down as soon as I hit the search button, so that way, like that. So that way I'm behind the couch, and the only way to shoot me is if you're coming from that direction there, and, you know, you're more protected. Now, there is an ammo box over here that you can check. I don't really find it too worth it since I'm mainly coming in for money. There are some good ammo types that you can find in here, but you just have to be really careful because you're also pretty open in this corner, so I usually skip this. And if I go this way, I usually just kind of run back out. Oh, there's a gun here. So this is kind of a rare gun spawn on the couch. If you see it kind of like I did, you can kind of just snag it and run. Nothing really super important past that spawns in here, as far as I know, but I usually come back out this way, check here and here for scavs. Just check in the dark. You know, that way you don't get accidentally, you know, popped while you're going. Now, the only thing you have to worry about is this area here, this shelf that protects this whole, like, long sight lane here, because after that, all I do is run this way, run all the way across, make sure to put my head down, come this way past the gate, zigzag, and then I'm back down the stairs, and depending, if I'm running away from someone, I will not take the chance, and just pop out that door. So these doors are shut if you don't know, so you have to shoot them or hit them with your axe in order to get through. So if you go through this way, you can. Otherwise, you just go back through the way we came. Now, in this case, we have Immercom checkpoint as our exit because we spawned over by a railway way up in that corner. So if you guys don't know, the old names for these exfils were southwest, excuse me, and northeast exit. So north and south exit. Now north is railway exfil and south is Immercom checkpoint. And then from this point, you just run all the way out this way from my route, and then you run out this way, you run all the way to the wall, and then you just essentially follow the wall all the way down until you reach the car at the end of the road, the big semi-truck, and then you crouch next to the wheel in order to exfil. Now, what I'm going to show you guys is just what I rarely loot, only if I A, spawn over here, or B, I pretty much determine that it's an empty raid and there's no more players, mainly because there's just no gunfire, there's no fighting, there's no sort of indication that players are still out and about and ready to fight me. What I end up doing is there is a hidden barrel cache, and if you don't know what those are yet, in the new patch 0.12, Tarkov decided that with the new trader that we were going to have some hidden caches, and so some of them are just buried little barrel caches that kind of look like little oil barrels that are very small. And they're just kind of hidden throughout every map. If you look up a guide, either by the wiki or by some of the people in the community that have made them on Reddit, they can point them out to you. That way you know where to run to. They do spawn really, really good stuff from time to time. I've found car batteries, paracords, corrugated hoses, gunpowder, a roller in one of them. Like, I found some pretty expensive stuff. So they're always worth checking if you have kind of a lower tier build and you're just doing money per se, like on this run. But as I mentioned, I usually only check this if it's kind of quiet like this would be and there's just no evidence of any players around, or if I've spawned down here by Immercom checkpoint and I'm going towards Ollie's. So once you find this little compound here with the put out fire and all these boxes, if you go to this box pile right here next to this and you go right around here and into the bushes, this is where it is. These are what they look like. They're pretty visible, and then once you search them, depending on how lucky you get. Alright, so we've got a little bit in here. Dry fuel is super expensive on the market and people trade it for a lot of things. So if you find that, I would grab that. You can get the Tarcola here for the Holden, whatever the fridge is called, Holland Nick or something like that. But other than that, like I said, I found some super expensive stuff. And then if I loot it, I make sure to keep some form of hill in front of me on this way. Just mainly because for this, people love to extract camp on this exfil. And I don't blame them, because Tarkov has the quest called Shooter Born from Heaven that I still am not doing, because it kind of inclinates people to exfil camp, only because you have to get headshots from 100 meters away on PMCs. So where people like to sit a lot is right on that hill there, and it's because it's far enough away that if you silhouette against this, wall here, you're an easy moving target for someone camping way over there, which is about maybe 125, 150 meters, to just shoot you in the head and get you out of the game right here. And people sit there with thermal scopes at night or daytime and just constantly take people out. But since we spawned where we did spawn, the exfil is going to be right here at this truck. You always want to hop over here and keep your head against these tires, because they cannot be shot through. They're about as metal as it gets, and then once you're out, you're out. And so that's my route for interchange. And then, like I said, I'm going to include a clip of the actual run from the stream, showing you guys what I was wearing and how my route went and how the kind of fights went. I don't think I got into any fights because it was a run through, but I did make a damn good amount of money out of the raid. So I hope this helps anybody who wants to get some more money out of Tarkov, and especially interchange, and show you kind of a quick and easy route to go through all the tech stores and then find maybe something that's worth 40k. And of course, I don't encourage hatchling runs, but that's how most people do try and do them, is just running in with their case, their secure container, running in, stuffing as much as they can into it, and then getting shot, or of course disconnecting, stuff like that. So I hope you guys enjoy the clip, and of course if you want to see more of these kind of moments happen, just go and follow me on Twitch. It's the same name you see on the screen here, and of course the one you see on YouTube, and I'll see you guys in the next Tarkov video. Thanks. We'll just run in with this into interchange. go, creating loopholes. Let's hope we don't just get absolutely wrecked tonight, but we'll see how the day goes. It's pretty late too. I'm gonna have to ask my brother what he wants us to do for dinner since we're home alone tonight. Tarkov, don't you dare crash. Stop. Turn this flashlight off, bro. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Talk about fucking frame drops. .52 frames. I might drop my settings one more time. Yeah, after this, right, I'm probably gonna drop my settings a little bit again. That way I can get back to 60 frames. Because being at 40 is going to absolutely cuck me. Stop, dude. Getting stuck in the middle like that is gonna end up killing me. Did I bring a nade? No, I didn't. Oh my god. Oh my god. Close range, might as well go full Bengus. If I can, I'm gonna use the time. Ooh, yep. There's our money maker right there. I'm gonna use any time I can take here after this in a second too. Ooh. Stop freezing, please. Jesus Christ. If I die because of a freeze here, I'm gonna fucking I'm gonna re louder than anyone's ever heard me read before. PSUs take up so much space though. I'm gonna stay right here. We're gonna hope and pray. We can't change the texture quality while we're in raid. Fuck, we just gotta deal with it like this. Come on, game. Gotta be quicker than this, please. And you gotta stop these stutters. Another PSU. fades. That stutter could have killed me right there. So could have that one. There's probably a memory leak or some shit with Tarkov. There has to be, dude. Tetris. We just gotta hope with the thing we go into Rasmussen and get whatever we can out of it, we don't die. What? No. I don't know where that came from. That was terrible timing, though. He's right there. I might honestly run out of the front of National. Not even fuck with that dude. Cheating on me with solo runs. I mean, I was playing Star Wars, but the game just is tanking my hard drive and shit. Well, not my hard drive, but my just tanking my computer, man. I can't, like, the audio crackles and fades and, you know, like, cuts out, and then, like, the game just is slow, and I have to constantly keep re-rendering everything. I'm just doing a money run right now. I've got 2 Tetrises and a hard drive. There's some dude with a silenced RSAS in here, though. I can't go back through Ollie's. I'm gonna have to dip out through National. Someone's throwing flashbangs. I'm just gonna have to dip out. We're gonna have to go to the front and go that way. Ooh. Oof. Now the plan is to just go in and down. I believe my exit's Immercom. Yep. There's no am overweight. I'm carrying really light gear. I don't know why I checked. Why don't I have a penis? Well, because you're female? someone right there or not, but see if we can GTFO without dying. I have to switch this back over to single since we're going to be facing distance bitches now. Those bushes scared me for a second. It looked like it was two players like spread out on the road. I swore I was hearing someone else. I guess not, though. Frames drop as soon as I got here. Okay. Whew. Okay, got those out of the way. Got the money run out of the way. Feels good, man. Feels good. Feels good. Good. Run through. Run throughs don't matter when you get so much cash. Ouch. Bennett. Boom, boom, boom. Você sai, zoom, zoom, zoom. Oh, I'm gonna have to start getting rid of some of these for trades and shit. I'm actually just gonna have to get rid of the bandages, which I can go die with. That's easy. Military cable, 2 tetras, and a graphics card. Graphics card is going up first. A boom boom boom. Oh, say sang it. So, another wild thing. A wild thing. Look at somebody. Wild thing. Oh, say sang it. A boom. It's probably my graphics card that just sold. That thing always sells like a fucking instant after I put it up. Yay. 120k out of that. Okay.
Soldier.